Okay, so figured, let's get this, it's not supposed to do that. It's only supposed to move up and it stays. So it's trashed. It's been beat. Let's get this thing out of here. We're gonna replace this with a new switch. Let's see. Long ones go on the top. So there are gonna be two different length screws here. On that right there.
Could that be why it wasn't working?
That's pretty special. Oh no, this switch is just trash. So, alright, I'll be right back. I gotta go get a socket wrench for that. Okay, should be a little easier. We're gonna replace it with this. Brand new switch. New reproduction from the Fiero store. Seems like they pretty much have them in stock all the time, so there's no problem getting that.
Is there anything you have had a problem getting?
Nope, not yet. I don't think they reproduced this switch panel, which is okay because this one's actually still in pretty good shape. The one on the other side, on the other hand, not so much.
But they do. You do have the panel for the other side.
Yeah, the headlight one's gotta be replaced. So put that back in there. Couple. If I drop my wrench, put that there.
What are those, 10mm bolts?
9/32.
Oh. Those are small.
Or 7mm will work too. I believe I have 9/30. Yep, 9/32. Don't have to go General Torquemada on these either, just snug. Looks pretty good. It's a lot better than the other one did anyway. So, plug that in. It's tight. It is. Oh, that looks a lot better.
Absolutely.
Small details make a big difference. GM was famous for these screws in the 80s. Their interiors, they put them in everything. T15 Torx.
And do you know why they put them in a lot of their vehicles?
Probably because they bought them cheap.
Fair enough.
Probably bought millions of them. There it is, nice and solid, looks brand new. Deck lid's already open, so yeah, don't do anything right now. But it's in there, it needs to work. You can't really see it, it's too light outside right now. Come out later and turn the light on, make sure that works, that lights up, but it should. Good to go. Now, not sure you're gonna be able to see too much of this one. We have to zoom in a little. Let's pop this one out too.
Same T15 Torx bolts.
Same screws.
There we go. Kind of going in from up top so people can see.
Yeah, if you gotta come in, that's fine too. I might have to move this up to get to perpetual right turn signal.
We know the signals work.
Yeah. Yeah, almost everything functions as it should. For now. So pump this out. Oh, it just fell. Hey! Hey, look at that. There's the reason why we're going to change this one. With this one.
Nice. And you can can also read the words on it too.
Yeah, that was the main reason why I was changing it. But that's right. I did a video on this earlier when I was finding all those interesting wires. Somebody had tapped into the internal lighting circuit. Still got to remove that tap. Now, let's see if we can remove these without breaking anything. That would be, yeah, it pops right out. This one would be a little tougher though, so I can get my hand in there, which is why I brought a screwdriver. Come on. Doesn't want to come in there. Flip it upside down. Put the screws down so I don't lose them, because that's what's going to happen. Probably should unplug it while I'm pushing on it. But where's the fun in that? Okay. Yeah, I'd say there's a slight difference there.
A little bit.
You can actually tell what's going on now. I'm going to get rid of that. Alright, I got that one in. No problem. We're going to pop this one in the retainer here real quick. Oh, look at that. They go right in. Let's push this back in place. Get this stuff inside a little pod here. Grab a couple screws. That's a little hard to see. Trim plates will do for the aesthetics of the car. Once again, the left-hand turn signal. Hey, amazing that works too. That. Turn the steering wheel up a little bit here. Tighten these down, then we'll bring you in for a view of how it looks. You don't want to tighten these down too much either, because these can be stripped real easily if you go cranking on them. They just screw in the plastic inside the cluster housing, so don't want those to strip. It's the last thing you want to replace is a cluster surround. There we go. Look at that. Gotta get that check engine light problem fixed. That one's in there. Yeah, now we're getting somewhere. To redo the steering wheel too, but yeah, I like that a lot better. Cool. Now let's move on to the next project. Okay, figured, the last update that I did, this lamp does not illuminate at all. It's probably a bulb. I guess we're gonna find out. So I'm gonna pop these out of here. I do have new ashtrays. These are kind of nasty looking. I bought new ones. Probably could have stripped those and redid them, but I didn't. So there's two there, two there. There's supposed to be a couple clips that hold this down, but it does seem like it's a little loose. I already pulled the clip off here that is directly in front of the shifter on the front side of this, and it just sits in there with like a fork. You just pull it out, which means this theoretically should come right off. Which it does. And that's where that goes right there. So I'll set that out of the way. Get that out of the way. Okay. Yep, now let's just take a look and see if possibly we can get this off. I need to get my vacuum out here too and clean everything up that's in here because it is kind of a mess. Let's get all four of these loose. Been a while since I've pulled apart a Fiero console. So, if I remember right, this should be the only four, and the whole top part of this console should come off. Leaving behind, I believe, this section, which is bolted to the floor, to the tunnel. So, probably should have grabbed these with a magnet. It would have been a lot easier. So, maybe I didn't get them all the way unscrewed. Oh, no, there we go. There we go. Okay, so let's get this off. I need to get my vacuum out here too and clean everything up that's in here because it is kind of a mess. Let's put these in the ashtray. Since that's about the only thing ashtrays are really good for is change trays. Yep, that one is still in there. Oh yeah, there we go. I'm going to replace these switches. As far as I know, the mirror switch doesn't have an issue, but it doesn't... Well, I shouldn't say that. The up, left, and right do not work on either mirror. Down seems to work, but up, left, and right do not. So it could be a switch, I'm not sure. But I like to put new ones in there anyway. These ones look a little rough. Plus, the sun fade on those. I mean, that's pretty bad. And that one's a little crunchy when you touch it. So it's getting a little thin as far as the plastic goes. I'd like to replace them. They're cheap enough. They're inexpensive. Since I'm taking this apart anyway. Of course, if I was smart, I would have had the mirror switch ready for this too. Then we could just do all of it at once. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, look at that. This whole section should lift up. Which it does. Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Set that off to the side. Oh, that is nasty up in there. We're going to need a serious vacuum and excavation team to get up in there and remove all the nast. Yeah, that's pretty special. Oh, look, we got a sonic wrapper. In case anybody ever needed some salt, it's a good place to hide your salt. Alright, yeah, that's pretty disgusting. So let me go grab a... Oof, that's rough. What you got? Hey, we got some more monies. We're going to add that to the pile. See how much more we can find. Like I said, we need another, a few $1,000s and we'll be alright. Okay, I'll get this cleaned up. We'll be right back. I might as well just take this plate off because I'm sure we're going to find some awesome stuff under here. I wonder if I should disinfect myself after this. It's looking a little rough. It's amazing though, because inside this car it does not smell nasty at all. It doesn't smell like cigarette smoke. But after looking at that, it's like the guy dropped an entire person down there. Very disgusting. Which is okay, because I had to pull these two. Move Sonic out of the way. I gotta remove these two anyway, because I gotta remove this rear console. I don't know if I showed this in a video, but the hinge for the rear compartment door here, which I guess you can call it a glove compartment, it's about the only thing close to it that this car has. The bolts, apparently, on this, they're not attached. So I gotta pull this off anyway and find out what the deal is with that. So somebody's had this apart. So let's pop that. Still in good shape. This one's a little rusty. Not sure why. Oh, that's broken tab. That's not good. We'll get these ones out of here for the switch panel. What's this? This right here. What is this? There shouldn't be a wire right there. Oh, I know what that looked like. Right there. Oh, that just happens to be shaped like something you would use in an OBD1 connector to pull codes. Interesting. Oh, I don't need that anymore. We're going to throw that in the trash pile, along with 99% of what else is all up under here. Oh, yeah, that's pretty freaking nasty. Here's the ashtray lights. There's one here. You got one here. Neither one of them light up now. I'm just going to change these bulbs anyway because, look at the rest of this. It's pretty disgusting. So I already popped the bulb out of this. This one's no good. So I'm going to change that bulb. Looks like all three are the same. Might be, what, 74s maybe? I don't know. I'll have to pull them out, take a look at them. But I need to get my vacuum, and this has all got to go. This is just, it could be worse. I guess it could be a rat's nest down there. So, oh. Yeah, look, there's more monies down there. And they've been down there for quite some time. So, yeah, let me tear this up and get this cleaned up. I'll be back. Okay, we're going to pull this console out and see what treasures are under here. So far, we've excavated a bunch of nast. Interior of this car is not known for its size, so let's stuff that out a little bit. What do we got? Well, so far, nothing out of the ordinary. ECM looks good. Everything's in good shape. It's the original ECM. or so it looks. It's got the service number on it. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not too bad under here. I believe this light works. Getting it out of there is going to be fun, though, because it's got crusties. Yeah, it's lit. You can see it lit there, so that one does work. So cool. So I don't have to mess with that. There's your OBD2 or OBD1 connector, which is hidden under that plate that goes here where the lighter attaches. That's how you get to that. It wasn't really, at least on cars pre-OBD2, there was no like standardized place for this, so sometimes they're kind of hard to find. But yeah, we're going to clean all of this disgusting mess up in here. Looks like a tap from the console. Get this all cleaned up. Wow. Not sure why anybody would have taken this apart, unless this is, I guess it could be, a replacement ECM. Maybe it had an issue and they just assumed that was the problem. I'll have to double check that number to make sure that's the correct ECM number. I mean, the car does run, it runs fine. Of course, the light's still on. I'm not sure what that's on there for. I haven't checked it again yet since we fixed a couple of the other things with the mat sensor and the IAT and all that kind of stuff. But here's what we're down to. Join us next time when we figure out how to clean this disaster up. Okay, here's the switch plate, maybe you want to call it. The old one and the new one here. Bag. Come on! Back up. Thank you. I got parts and stuff everywhere, all over the place. Okay, so there's the new one. I'd say that's a huge increase in quality, other than the nasty stuff that's all over this. I do need the screws from these two switches because they are screwed in, as opposed to just being snapped in, like say a 3rd gen Firebird or something like that. Let's get this out of here. Oop, I'm going to keep those. Apparently I wasn't thinking ahead and I only bought one switch, so I'm going to need to get another one, which is not going to be an issue. I'll throw that on order here soon. I believe these are size specific. They are, because of the brackets. That one. Yeah, okay. We'll go. So, make them identical. This one is obviously that side, which should be the passenger side. We're going to put that there. I believe if I looked at this plate right, the threads are not in it yet. So these screws are kind of going to cut their own. Not sure if you can see it. Yeah, it looks like they're virgin holes, which is cool. Because that means that these bolts will cut their own threads in there and they won't be worn out or anything. Just don't want to over tighten these because they can crack pretty easily, I would imagine. I mean, it is just plastic. So let me do that off camera and I'll be right back. And there you go. Screwed it back in, no problem. Those went in pretty easy, surprisingly. But yeah, it went right in and it looks great. Now I just can't wait to get the other one. I think I'm just gonna order a new mirror switch. I know it's the same as a Firebird, and I've got quite a few of those around here, but if these are new, I might as well just put a new one in it. Everything else is new, and you can't go wrong with new parts. You'll never hear anybody say, stop putting new parts on there, you're hurting it. They'll never say that. So, just took those out there. Yeah, you can see how crusty, and let's see if I get in the light there. Yeah, how sun faded and kind of nasty that really is. And it's already cracking right there. Yeah, that's what happens. I mean, they sit flat, and the sun just beats down on them all the time, and that's what you get, unfortunately. So get the other one out, and I'm gonna order that one up. Won't need this plate anymore. Add that to the pile of stuff that's come off the car, and new stuff going on. So all right, I'll be right back. All right, time to tackle this torsion rod situation. Top is obviously the broken one, bottom's the new one. And yes, the white paint is from the factory. It lets you know that you had a spoiler on the back of your deck lid. So, because there was, I think, 3 different colors, could be 2. I don't really remember off the top of my head, looking at the factory parts manual, which I have. But yeah, they color-coded the end of them so you know which bar you have. There's also 3 adjustment points on the car you could put it at. I think they come from the factory dead center in the middle, which is just fine because I've never seen one that really needed to be adjusted. And I'm sure after a while they wear out, but it all been fine to me. So let's try to get this one in the car so we don't have to use the... so we can maybe make this thing stop seeing its... stop making an appearance, I guess what I'm trying to say. But yeah, you can see some adjustment holes down there where it's supposed to be. And then it goes on this hinge, obviously. And that one is bolted to right there. That's the bar right there. So let me go grab some tools. Let's get this sucker in here. All right. After much fighting out here in the cold, I should probably do something about that grommet too at some point here. The torsion bar here is now attached. Goes there. You can barely see it up under there. And in the middle point down there is where the pin is. Kind of see it right there at that bend. Looks like the inside of the bend on this part of the bar here holds the flat of the adjuster pin in. There's 3 holes here for adjustment. I'm keeping it in the middle. That's where GM kept it. That's where I'm keeping it. I don't think I need much more torsion than that since this is the correct bar with the white paint. But inside this, it hooks up under here and comes inside this and catches that pin again. And that's what it uses for tension. You could adjust it by going to one of them other holes. I would not recommend changing the adjustment. The middle one was a fight enough to get that thing in there. There is an inordinate amount of torsion or tension on this thing once it's in there. And getting it bolted back up over here. Getting it bolted here is easy. Getting it back, if you can kind of see it, way back under there, there's a hook that it's hooked into. Kind of see it in there. It's a little tricky to get the camera in there, but that hook right there, getting it into that, that's the nightmare. Once you got it into that though, it's cake. I actually used, once again, my wrench extender on the end of that torsion bar and pulled it, and it wasn't so bad after that. And then putting the screw in was actually pretty easy. But getting it into that hook is the absolute hardest part. But now that it's in there, now I understand why everybody goes to the gas strut system that bolts here and goes up to the hinge. And it's an aftermarket system that Rodney Dickman sells that looks like it works pretty good. But yeah, there you go. Now it closes and opens up. Now I guess, unfortunately, I'm going to have to retire the official Fiero prop rod. I can finally get that out of the trunk and it stays open on its own, which is kind of nice. I was going to go with the gas strut design that does go here, and you can get 2 of them, 2 on both sides. I just didn't want that strut kind of impeding right here. Not that you're back here doing a lot of stuff all the time anyway, but I can understand why people go to it though. It's definitely a lot easier than screwing around with these damn torsion bars. But once they're in there, you know, everything works fine. Why one of mine was rotted, which is weird. Take a look at that bar. I think I just stashed it in here. You see that big mess there? I still got to go back in the car. Is that side, if you can see it, is completely rotted. But it's the only spot that had any rust. The rest of there's a little bit of surface rust right there, I guess. It's weird, because the other bar that's on the car, perfect shape. No issue whatsoever. Oh, it's cold out here today. But yeah, that's messed up. It's in there. And the other one doesn't have any rust on it. You know, there's a little bit of surface in there. Of course, it shows up on camera a lot brighter than it really is. I think there's some scratches on there I made on the paint, but I'll fix that. But the bar is in really good shape. I picked that up from a Fiero factory. He shipped it up pretty quick. A couple days and it's here. So now I can actually close this. No more issues. Sweet. Now I get this thing up on jack stands. Get the brakes bled. Move on to the next one. Alright, back on the Fiero. Trying to fix the common wedging out. You can't really see it. Of course, it's all clamped down now, so it's going to be hard to see, but I've done this a couple times for a couple other cars, and it seems to work really, really well and last pretty long. It's cheap and it's easy, so just peel it back a little bit. Use a pretty decent weather strip adhesive, which I believe I have sitting here right here. Throw some of that on it. This stuff is really strong. Got a pretty good tensile strength. Works pretty good. It's not bad. Just make sure you let it cure. But you put it in there, you clamp it as flat as you can. You want to put a piece of wood on it so it keeps it flat and doesn't have like the marks, the clamp doesn't leave marks in it. But yeah, we're gonna let that cure and see how it comes out. It should be just as good as all the rest of them, but I'd say that's pretty darn straight. So the other side was fine. I did have to fix a section here where it was all bubbled way out. So I just slapped something pretty quick on it and it pulled it right out, and the rest of this is all cleaned up. So it's coming out okay. Not bad. So yeah, we'll see how that comes out and keep you updated. And there's the console back in. Not hard to do at all. A couple screws. Look at that, how flat that is now. Perfectly flat. Worked out great putting that board on there like that. Doesn't leave marks from the clamp. Yeah, holds it in just fine. I've used it on a bunch of other projects for similar type things where vinyl's coming apart. 3rd gen 85 and up, like 3rd gen Firebird and TA consoles have the same problem. I've had great luck with doing that weather strip adhesive stuff, so still got to clean out the 40 years of disgusting in there. But yeah, everything's good here. You can still see a little bit of it down here, but this was bowed way out, so now it's not. Now it closes. This is all bolted in. There's only 2 screws behind there, 2 screws behind here, which I think I showed when I took it out. Yeah, it's nice and solid now. Cleaned it up a little bit, hit with a really good degreaser, and it looks great now compared to what it was for sure. Big upgrade. So got to get that fixed, and we'll move on to one of the countless other projects. Yeah, just wanted to give a little update on the console, and yeah, check it out. Not bad, huh? It's amazing what a little bit of cleaner will do. Pretty sweet.